Folks, this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn. Here we go. Hey, what are the roads like in your area? Because we're seeing a pretty sharp decline in temperature below the freezing mark moving into the southeast part of the state. So that's the first beware. Precipitation has not been that heavy this morning as far as wintry stuff, and that was expected. Remember, this is still a two-part type storm. Second part coming. I'll show that to you. But the temperature is going from wet and an inch of rain to now below freezing. So here is the radar to take a look at. Hey, good morning, everybody. And you can see the first batch kind of inching in through southeast lower Michigan and out of much of the rest of Michigan. And you can see the second batch developing widespread. Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, and moving toward the northeast. So that's what will be moving into the area this afternoon. Hey, thank you very much for sharing this. Appreciate it very much. You're listening to MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn. Okay, so we have that second area heading toward us. Now, the important thing in the short term, be careful in the Detroit and far southeastern part of the state as you're thinking wet roads. But these are the current temperatures. So I noticed that Flint went from 44 to 31 in the last 2 hours. Now the freezing line working its way through Oakland County and heading into the Detroit area. So in the next 2 to 3 hours, places like Mount Clemens, somebody just reported that wet roadways 34. In the next couple of hours of Mount Clemens, you'll drop below the freezing mark and into the upper 20s, and then you could start to get the, I guess I would call it near flash freezing. This is kind of marginal for a flash freeze, but that's the thing to watch this morning is that the temperatures will be going down. Here's a model forecast of that temperature fall, and we'll step it along here for you. 9 o'clock, still above freezing in the far southeast, like I just showed you. Then 10 o'clock down to 35-ish at Detroit Metro. And then 11 o'clock, 35-ish in Detroit, the city. And then down to 33 and 32 and continues to go down then. So the first and foremost thing is in the southeast. Be careful this morning, next couple of hours, as the roads could change dramatically as the colder air starts to move on into the region. Now, let's get to the snow. How does that sound? Let's get to it here. And here is the model that usually does quite well for us on a radar and an accumulation. So this is 10 o'clock, 11, noon. We're in the lull. There is some light freezing rain, some light snow still in the southeast part of the state. And then we're at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. The snow starts to redevelop. Grand Rapids, northern edge of it, definitely in the Kalamazoo. Lansing, you're on the northern edge of it. Flint, you're on the northern edge of it. So not a lot has changed, really, on this. Instead of yesterday, I was calling it a 5 to 9 inch snowstorm. I'd call it a 4 to 8, and you'll see that here in just a moment. This is 5 o'clock and this is 6 o'clock. So if you can get off work early, if you're going to the office now and you can get off work early, a good idea because the snow will just be increasing as you get to 4, 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. The snow is all around from Saginaw to Big Rapids and southward. The heaviest, of course, in the far southern part of the state, like we've talked all along. This is 8 o'clock, Lansing getting it, and 9, and 10, and 11, still solid snow, starting to taper off from the west. Midnight, 1 o'clock, and 2 and 3 in the morning. It's ending at about Detroit, and that's about when the winter storm warning comes to an end, too. So this is basically a 3 in the afternoon to a 3 in the morning snowstorm for the southeast part of the state. All right, let's look at various models. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. I think it usually does quite well. And its heaviest is still around 8 inches. The 9 inches are gone, but 8 inches still through, St. Clair, the Detroit area, Oakland County, back toward Jackson, back to the southwest corner. And then you get a strip of 3 to 5 just for maybe 20 miles north and west of that. And then you get a strip of 1 to 3 inches, and that's where Grand Rapids and Saginaw lies on this model. Let's look at, okay, let's see here. All right, now we're going to look at the European, and it's just about the same. 6 or 7 in the southeast, tapering to 3 to 5. Flint area, Lansing, tapering to 1 to 3. Grand Rapids and Saginaw. Here's the GFS. The one thing, we a lot of times knock the US model, but the one thing the GFS does is it has now built in physics that tell us it accumulates on an accurate sense. If it's a heavy wet snow, it'll adjust for that. If it's a light fluffy snow, it'll adjust for that. So it, in theory, should be some of the best amounts, and it's going on its heaviest, about 7 or 8 in the far southeast part of the state. And here's the one I think we look at to answer some questions. This is the NAM. Now, I like this one, but it's the lowest. So I think this is the low end, and then you add 2 onto that to give yourself the range. So you're seeing a lot of 5s from Detroit through Ann Arbor through to Jackson, Coldwater, Hillsdale. So that's 5 to 7. Remember, this is on the low end. Oakland County, you're seeing some 3s and 4s. So that's 3 to 5, 4 to 6. Genesee County, you're seeing 3s, so that's a 2 to 4. And then Grand Rapids and Saginaw, you're at 1 or 2 inches. Freezing rain shouldn't be a real big problem as far as accumulation, but you can still this morning have up to 1/10 of an inch, it looks like, through the Detroit area. And then one last thing I want to show you is that we're not out of the stormy pattern after this. Here's storm number 1. Here's an Alberta Clipper with some light precipitation on Friday. And then look at next week, and this has been advertised all along. It's getting into the middle period of these models. This is next week, Tuesday, and another solid large storm from the southwest. And then look at Friday, another solid rain, freezing rain, snowstorm coming across Michigan. So we are going to be in an active pattern, it looks like, my friends, as we go into next week as well. All right, let's take some questions. And here we go. Let's go back to the NAM. But remember, you got to add, if you're just joining, you got to add 2 inches for the high side of this. And where are they calling for 12 inches? Not really anywhere, and we really haven't been. All right, somebody's gassed up and all that. What's the thumb looking like? I would say tip of the thumb, 1 to 2 inches. Sanilac County, 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of snowfall. And how are the real roads doing through Genesee County as you just dropped below freezing? So are they going bad there? That would be my watch out for this morning. From Genesee County southward, you probably have what you feel are wet roads, and they could change pretty quickly here. Okay, potholes are back. Dry roads in Grand Rapids, 31. Grand Rapids, you're going to stay pretty good on this. Not to say you'll be perfect, but you might get an inch or 2 this evening. Yes, in Mayville, heavy rainfall, 1 inch of rain in a lot of places overnight. So creeks are raging because some places the ground is frozen. Are we done with the super cold? I would say yes, the super cold we are done with, because we're kind of jumping back into the 20s, 30s, and 40s. 81 in Bradenton, Florida. Say, yeah, I saw some forecasts that they get record highs. Fort Myers, maybe 87-ish or something like that. Good morning, Bad Axe. Wet in Mount Clemens, 34 degrees. Hope the freeway is salted. Yes, be careful, Mount Clemens. Roads are wet, 39 in Brooklyn and Lenawee County. You'll go down below freezing probably Oh, probably by 11 o'clock or so. And there we go. So there's your update, pretty much as expected. Grand Rapids, Saginaw Bay City, 1 or 2 inches. Just southeast of that, um, between Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo, north side of Lansing area through Flint, 2 to 4 inches. And then you get into the band of 4 to 8 inch snows, and it comes 3 p.m. this afternoon to 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's a second half of the afternoon and definitely the evening to midnight type snowstorm for those regions in the southeast. So if you have travel plans or if you have a flight out of Detroit Metro at 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight, you better keep checking the phone app to see if everything's on time. Take care, and thanks for joining me on this MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.